Matt Money Smith here from Believe in Chargers, and I am reaching out to you, the small business owners, to talk to you about my friends at Gusto, because they can help you out. You want to have your hands in everything. It's your business. It's got your name on it. I get it. But how about running that business a little bit tighter and cutting some of the stuff that maybe you don't want to use your valuable time on, and that is payroll, HR. Let Gusto help you get your time back because every hour counts. So what is Gusto? It's an online payroll and benefits software that's built for small businesses. It is all in one. It is remote friendly. It is incredibly easy to use, and you can pay, hire, onboard, and support your team from anywhere. What does that give you? Saves time. You got built-in automated tools. You got offer letters, onboarding docs, direct deposits, so much more, not to mention direct access to certified HR experts. They are going to help support you through any tough HR situation. So try Gusto today at gusto.com/believe. That's GUSTO.com/believe, BLEAV. And you're going to get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. Again, that is 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/believe. Again, one more time, gusto.com/believe.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Let's stay with you, Kieran, and we'll keep it relatively local for you. I noticed, by the way, that both yourself and Craig are you're having a Florida off tonight. It's Gators versus Seminoles here at the T-shirt stakes. For those who are watching rather than listening to the podcast, Kieran, if there's a team in a worse position than the Jets in the East, I'd argue that it might be the Dolphins. I'm not so sure I'd take the Dolphins situation over the Jets right now. An awful lot of unknowns there. New head coach in Jeff Hafley, who won rave reviews over the last couple of seasons for what he's done as the DC in Green Bay. They brought in a new general manager from that very healthy gene pool as well in Jon-Eric Sullivan. And if they do things the Packers way, and if they commit to the long-term building through the draft, they'll be in good shape. They also, of course, took the quarterback in Mallik Willis. I'm not sure he would have necessarily expected all his weapons and have the defense out the door before he ever got to take a meaningful snap in Miami. And therein lies the issue. It's a team that won 7 games last year, by the way. They weren't an absolute dumpster fire by any means. Had a lot of talent. A lot of that is now gone. And they've pretty much torn it down to the studs, which, if you're approaching it in the right way, if you're doing it in the Packers way, and if you have patience and you have the right people at the helm, will all work out in the long term. But, again, as I say, a lot of unknowns. And that's not to knock Hafley or Jon-Eric Sullivan or any of the pieces that are there right now. It's just that there's a lot of questions that we need to see answers to.
Yeah, and with the McDaniel scenario, that had run its course probably way before he was ejected. And he'll probably go on to do better things with the Chargers. But, I mean, like you said, they've just torn the walls down, and it's bare bones at this stage. I think 24 between rookies and veteran free agents, 24 new people have been brought in since March, since free agency started. It's a complete rehaul. It's almost like we're talking about the Jets right now with the absence of talent. And it's just, when you look at the wide receiver room, you go from Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle to Tutu Atwell and Jalen Tolbert as your 1 and 2, which is not a great scenario for somebody like Mallik Willis coming in, trying to make his bones as a starter, as a established starter in the NFL with that. I think it was a 3-year contract that they gave him, but it's gonna be really rough. I mean, they're lucky they got the good weather down in Miami, because there's going to be a lot of road teams coming down and taking full advantage of Collins Avenue and South Beach and enjoying that whole weekend, because the Dolphins aren't going to put up much of a fight. I mean, like I said, the fire sale, the players that have left, out the door. Tua's obviously gone. Tyreek, Jalen, Darren Waller's gone. Brandon Chubb. A lot of the O-line, KJ Britt, I think, went to the Bills. Rasul Douglas, Minka's gone out the door too. Just that alone is a huge loss to take. And I get it's an overhaul, a new head coach, a new GM, but you got to have somebody to put butts in the seats for the Dolphins fans, because that's going to be really tough sledding. I mean, I know they still have a Shane, run of the ball, but still, the absence of any kind of, real meaningful talent to compete in the division is there. And you have to think, even with the contract they gave Mallik Willis, you got to think that Sullivan's got one, if not both eyes on the draft in 27, looking at those 3 quarterbacks that are coming out, whether it's Sayin, Dante Moore, or obviously the prize candidate who will probably end up number 1, Mr. Manning. So it's a lot of golly, who's this guy out here? A lot of number 3 in the depth chart are going to be playing, first string on this team this year. They still got Chop Robinson though. They've still got Kenneth Grant, Josh Uche that got in from the Eagles. So there is a little bit there, but when you look on the offensive side, it's night and day to what they've had in the last couple of years. And that's going to be a real struggle for Willis trying to establish himself. I mean, he's a guy I think he only has 6 total touch.
Matt Money Smith here from Believe in Chargers, and I am reaching out to you, the small business owners, to talk to you about my friends at Gusto, because they can help you out. You want to have your hands in everything. It's your business. It's got your name on it. I get it. But how about running that business a little bit tighter and cutting some of the stuff that maybe you don't want to use your valuable time on, and that is payroll, HR. Let Gusto help you get your time back, because every hour counts. So what is Gusto? It's an online payroll and benefits software that's built for small businesses. It is all in one. It is remote friendly. It is incredibly easy to use, and you can pay, hire, onboard, and support your team from anywhere. What does that give you? Saves time. You got built-in automated tools. You got offer letters, onboarding docs, direct deposits, so much more, not to mention direct access to certified HR experts. They are going to help support you through any tough HR situation. So try Gusto today at gusto.com/believe. That's GUSTO.com/believe, BLEAV. And you're going to get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. Again, that is 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/believe. Again, one more time, gusto.com/believe.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Passing touchdowns in his career in the league. He'd be lucky to match that this year. I mean, it's going to be a real tough sled for the Dolphins with a super tough schedule too. So you've got to be just kind of writing off 26. And with Hafley, obviously they're going to be patient with him. It's going to be about building for the season. It's a classic tale of 1 year veteran free agents coming in just to fill roster spots, and let's see what 27 is going to bring us, because 26 is going to be slim pickings down in Miami.
Brian, you and I saw the Dolphins up close and personal when they took on the Commanders in Madrid, and I know you love an El Father Ted reference because it reminded me of the Speed 3 episode where you see Ted scribbling furiously on the blackboard. We put the brick on the accelerator. We give the ball to Achan, and that was plan A, plan B, and plan C last year. And
good
looks like things are not going to change too much
Connor.
this year. Excellent punting. Some of the best punting I've ever seen in the flesh. Riveting game.
It confuses me, and I listen to Kieran say about next year's draft, but Mallik Willis coming in kind of strikes me as the quarterback they believed he can win a number of games with him. And the contract they gave him was sizable enough, bearing in mind he was the top-end quarterback in free agent. It probably says a lot for what was available. But
if you want like a World Cup comparison, like he's like one of those Russian strikers that's Oleg Salenko, scores 6 goals in the World Cup and gets a massive contract.
Deep cover
plays
there.
2 games against the Bears and people are like, oh my God, Mallik Willis, he's the man.
Karl Poborski, 96, Connor, gets that great chip goal for the Czech Republic.
That was the Euros, not the World Cup. That's why I didn't pick Karl Poborski. I picked a World Cup player rather than a Euros player.
Sorry,
Right?
okay. Would it not have made more sense for the Dolphins to continue with Quinn Ewers as a quarterback? And for 2 reasons. One, they said if the season doesn't go according to plan, they're in the sweepstakes for the quarterback next year. But second of all, let's see what we can really get out of him. I know Kieran Asher said you won't get much out of him, but would the Knights not give him a little bit of trial and error opportunity, because he's not going to play the season? He only played a handful of few games. He actually didn't look that bad, and I acknowledge it's towards the back end of the season. Sometimes those games are write-offs anyway. But it would have made more sense for me, bearing in mind the situation they're in, to continue with him, see can he develop, put them in a position, i.e. Saints with Tyler Shock, that then all of a sudden, let's give ourselves something to think about next year if he does come in and has a really good season. Instead, they've gone the route of a well-known quarterback for them, because obviously they have the Packers connection, both the head coach and the GM. I found that a little bit confusing. It's like as if they want to win, they don't want to win, they may win, and then we'll figure out where we are next season. Like the schedule, start with the Raiders. I know it's only one game, but it strikes me the kind of game that they could go in and win. And you've got a few divisional games against the Jets in the season, and then you've got the Bills. Like, it's not against the possibility people go into Miami and find themselves getting shocked. I know Kieran's alluded to a lot of teams going in there and winning, but sometimes in September, in particular when the weather's really hot down there, they find ways to win games because people just don't like the conditions that they're dealt. So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion they're going to lose loads of games. I think, if anything, I think Dolphins fans might be here next year kind of wondering what the hell is going on here, because we've had a new head coach, GM, won a few games, and then out of sweepstakes for the quarterback of the future, potentially.
Craig, let us not forget that the Dolphins took 5 players in the first 90 picks in this year's draft, right? They had 2 first-round picks. They had a second-round pick at 43, third-round pick at 75, and another third-round. Sorry, they had three rounds. So they'd 7 players in the top 100 in the draft. So the real influx of new, fresh blood in, and hopefully from their perspective, blue-chip talent into this organization.
Yeah, and they need it because they have some horrific cap hits, and they just needed to load up on anything and everything they could. I mean, 13 overall picks in the draft is got to be up there with some kind of record, because I don't think I've seen a draft class that fills 2 columns before. And looking at it, they went heavy on the offensive weapons as well. They took Caleb Douglas, wide receiver, Chris Bell at wide receiver. They took Kevin Coleman Jr. at wide receiver. They took 2 tight ends. They took an offensive tackle, an offensive guard. Like, they loaded up on that offense because they know that they've got so much dead money there that they're having to pay off. I was listening to obviously what you were saying about the Mallik Willis thing. He's due $25 million next year, and they're still also paying Tua $43 million next year. So it's, they've got such a high cap hit that they had to go all out in the draft and fill up those, what you would call premier positions, so they can make sure that they're set, because they paid out on the quarterback, which doesn't really make a lot of sense when you look at some long-term roster building in Miami. So it does almost feel like you've got some kind of weird Twilight Zone thing going on at the Dolphins, where they have their quarterback, which would insinuate that they're in win now, but they're also not in win now because they can't afford any weapons for him. It's just the biggest catch-22 I've seen in forever.
It also underlines, though, Craig, that when, we may look back on this and think that they were right to move on when they did, or, else. It reminds me of what somebody once said to me about the stock market. It's better to sell a year too early than a day too late. Like, did they cut the ties with Tua quickly enough? Like, one thing you can credit the Broncos for is they took the massive cap hit from Russell Wilson up front when that wasn't working, and they washed their hands of it and were done with it. And however much pain they took it quickly and they moved on. And thankfully they got, from their perspective, they got the right quarterback. But the Dolphins could end up being a poster child for either what to do or what not to do, depending on how it works from here.
Yeah, and you look at what the Broncos did, and they got Bo Nix on a rookie contract for 4-5 years. Obviously, they're going to have to sign him after year 4 or before that. So they are going to have to put some outlay, but you've got your quarterback on a rookie contract. You haven't gone out and splashed money on a player that's made 6 starts in the NFL, 3 for Tennessee that were horrific, and 3 for the Packers that were good, but a small sample size.
Yeah, and if you're talking contract extension in year 3, that's a first world problem, right? That's because you got the right guy, right? Then you can worry about the cap hit then, and you're worrying about it for the right reasons.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowes.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.